I'm here in Fountain Gardens in the beautiful town of Newark-on-Trent, Nottinghamshire. And this area will soon be the site of a new statue that will be unveiled to a war hero some may not have heard of, Irena Sendler, a Polish woman who saved so many Jewish families and children during the Second World War. Indeed, she herself was detained by the Gestapo and sentenced to death, but managed to evade capture and survive. Her story is remarkable. Why would somebody choose to put this statue in Newark? Well, Newark itself, specifically to the Second World War, has a long-standing connection with Polish communities. And just a little bit down the way from me are our Polish war graves. And many personnel flew over and assisted us in those efforts during the Second World War. Our long-standing connections, therefore, to the Polish community are clear to see. Just behind me is also a fountain dedicated to a woman called Ethel Harrison, who died in Manchester Canal trying to save a child that had fallen in that was under her care. The people of Newark, back in 1906, using their own money, raised sufficient to build that fountain and dedication to a hero, but one of very few statues in the country prior to 1914 of what one might call an ordinary non-military hero, and also of a woman. So in this location, we're commemorating not just heroism, but those women that were very definitely heroes, nested in an area formerly next to the maternity ward of the hospital where nurses themselves used to come to take a break. What a fitting location. Our huge thanks, of course, to the Polish Cultural Institute for dedicating this statue and choosing Newark as its location and giving it to us. I'm sure this will be a fitting site, and I hope it will remind us all that we must continually reflect on people's sacrifices, their humanitarian efforts, and all that very many people do, not just to protect us and ensure peaceful times going forward, but also to role model and set examples that we should recognise and recall and try as best we can to replicate ourselves.
Hello, my name's Olivia Marks-Waldman, and I'm the Chief Executive of the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust. I'm delighted that Newark and Sherwood District Council are unveiling this statue of Irena Sendler. Irena was an extraordinary woman. She worked with her underground network during the Second World War and, at great personal danger, rescued around 2,500 Jewish children during the Holocaust. It's an extraordinary number of young lives saved, and she was still a young woman when she undertook these dangerous activities. And today it's so important we preserve her memory. At the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust, our mission is to learn from genocide for a better future. The statue of this brave woman will serve as a reminder both of this darkest of chapters, but also of the very best of humanity's response. We can all look at Irena's life and reflect on our own. Where could we be more courageous in our activities today in standing up for those who need our help? And I especially hope that when future generations look at this statue and learn about Irena Sendler's life, they too can be encouraged to be that glimmer of light in their own communities. A big thank you to Newark and Sherwood District Council and to the Polish Cultural Institute for giving us this important statue.
Newark is honoured to be able to provide a location for this statue, which will be a fitting tribute to the life of Irena Sendler. Her story is truly inspirational, one of selfless service to others, putting her own life in danger as Europe battled against the evil Nazi regime. I hope that this statue will be a catalyst for young people to better understand this hateful period in Europe's history, so that such events can't be repeated in the future.
There were many challenges. I loved every minute of actually sculpting Irena, but there aren't many pictures of her, so I suppose the most challenging thing was to create a sculpture that I thought truly represented the way she looked or would have looked in her early 30s when she was making those sacrifices. So I suppose getting a likeness and capturing a mood, the fear and the must have been incredible. Every time that she passed the guards outside of the Warsaw Ghetto, with children that she was saving. The fear must have been immense, but she was able to do all that she did. A little woman of less than 5 feet tall had such an immense spirit, and trying to capture that was perhaps my biggest challenge. She was perhaps an incredible example of someone who crossed all the boundaries, cultural, religious, and she sacrificed her life in order to save children of a completely different religious background without any consideration whatsoever. And I thought that she was one of the best examples of a human being in all of her qualities perhaps I've ever come across. She was extremely inspiring to me, and that's the reason I chose her.